let's talk about trees. I hope that's not too bad. See, okay, I have these, I think you've seen these before. There's 4 spice bush and 5 black locusts put there. This is the result of the winter sowing, and I brought them in the house. They had sprouted, brought them in the house, and I planted them up in these bins, and I had them in the house for 2 or 3 days, and then I brought them out here. Now, the black locust, this one seems to be fading a little bit. I don't know why. And this one, you see, after I brought them out here, here's a red bud that seems to be doing good for the most part, but here's one that's fading, and another one that has got a, see, this is after bringing them out here. So what I've got here is 6 black locusts and 10 red buds. So I have 11 black locusts and 10 red buds in all. This apple tree seedlings, and they're starting to look better now. I planted them up in the house, and that soil I got them in, I soaked the soil, but they did droop over, and then when I brought them out here, they're really drooping. But this morning they're looking like they're starting to perk back up, which is good. Now, the idea I've got for that is that I might plant some of them out just to see how they are, but I really want to clone the tree that's on the cliff that makes big, beautiful apples. And I might clone the other 2 varieties as well, the Ida Red and the one by the hen house. Now, the one on the cliff and the one by the hen house are 2 unnamed varieties, so I'll have to figure out a name for them. But I've got 12 apple tree seedlings planted there to use as rootstock and graft those other trees on top of them. In this pit, oh, that's some weeds you see there. There's the Kentucky coffee tree. And when I was pulling some weeds out, I pulled up a couple of the seeds. They're just sitting there just as hard as ever. It's one of those things that I'm going to have to just let it sit there, and when they decide to sprout, they'll sprout. It could take 2 or 3 years for that matter, but you just have it sitting there and keep the soil moist, and just every now and then, and one day you come by and oh, there's a tree sprouted. I want to put at least one of those red bud trees down here, but I'm not sure where to put it. They get 15 to 20 feet across. Now, how much water will you take here? Because here it's going to be quite wet, right? Like there's a space, but the ground's going to be quite wet. Now, up just over from the sugar maple, so it'd be in behind that plum tree that I'm trying to get growing, up there in that space, that might be a good spot. And other than that, I don't know how much soil is there at the base of the slope right here, up out of the boggy area. This apple tree, there's 2 of them there, of course, right beside the hen house. And I've got a awful mess here because I haven't gotten to take care of this yet this year. But it looks like there's going to be quite a lot of apples on it again this year. And I've figured out a good way to make apple juice, so I'm going to get as many apples as I can this year. The wildflowers that grew here are faded now. Blueberries are going to have a lot of blueberries though. And the Alpine strawberries, I mean, they're the best strawberries going. And there's so many of them. This year, this apple tree only had one blossom on it. And said blossom didn't produce an apple. So there's not a thing on that apple tree. There's 2 big spruce trees there that I'm going to take down. I'm not sure. I really would like to have a good Alaskan sawmill to cut up that base. Now, the reason why I'm trying to walk over through the blueberry bushes is because serviceberry are a dime a dozen around here. Problem is, so is the cedar pine rust. See, and that's what it does to serviceberry fruit. The birds still eat that, eh? But I'm not going to. See, it infects it at the blossom stage. So that red one there, that's one that the blossom didn't get infected. And then it's got one right next to it that the blossom was infected. Here's another one right there that didn't get infected. The occasional one don't get infected, but pretty much all of them, except for the occasional one, is infected and got rendered inedible for as far as humans are concerned. When I checked this Ida Red at the blossom time, I couldn't find the blossom. So there will be no apples from here this year either. But this is, like I say, if I can clone this one as well, it might be nice and have the 3 varieties of apples down within the half acre around the house. Dogwoods, that's something else, is a dime a dozen around here. So I'll just walk up here a little bit now and going across that way, it's easier. That's an old dogwood there, the big trunk's in behind there, and it's just got some new trunks growing up outside of it. So I'll go in through here, I guess. See, nature still has quite a wide variety. I've got to check and see what that is. I think it's currants. Red currants? Yeah. There's a berry here. Surprised that the birds don't eat my currants, because it's just one of those things, they're flying by. Now there's lots of currants, as you just seen around. This is partridge berry, and I did see there's a bunch of berries growing right there. So most of the ground cover right here is partridge berry plants. I didn't get over this far when I was cleaning up the branches. I'll get to it. But I didn't plant these trees. Nature can regenerate quite fast in the initial few times that it's disturbed. It's just that we disturb it so much now that we just destroy the seed bank and end up with deserts. So yeah, I just got this far, see, with the cleaning up. There's trees to grow, and as I've been saying, I have trees to transplant. And this was the honey locust that I had buried in branches. I hoped I didn't kill it, and apparently I didn't. So he's growing just fine. I just got my quad going again. It was a plug fuel filter, it's all the problem was. See, here's got a fir. That's not aspen, that's another poplar species. I don't recall the name right now. I destroyed this one. Well, there's some green left on them. It's my fault. So this one, you see, there's another honey locust. It's growing just beautifully. Got much smaller leaves than the black locust. You'll see the black locust now in a little bit. Now, smaller both ways, because this entire, right from here, all this out here is one leaf, I think. That's how it works. And these are little leaflets, or it might be just that from here, and then you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 leaves on this little branch. I'm not quite sure how that works now, but yeah, it's a multi section leaf. Most legumes are like that. Yeah, right there. I was just looking for the other one. So here's that one. I had some problems getting a tree to go where I wanted it to go again. Blossoms are gone. That's a Canadian bunchberry there. Tasteless berry. Edible, but tasteless. So if you wanted something to thicken up another jam, you just get some Canadian bunchberry and put in there. And we got blueberries growing here. This is a big tree I was cutting down, and because of the way the branches were, it didn't want to fall where I tried to get it to go. At any rate, one of these that's the one there. I ended up pulling it up when I was trying to work around here. So that honey locust is gone. Then there's another honey locust right there that's seemingly doing just fine. But at any rate, we look across here now. There's quite a few seedlings that Mother Nature has already put in there. And as I clear it up, I'll find out the size of these things, eh? Now, I was quite surprised. I mean, this was a whole tree. But yet, it was solid right on true. And I had to quarter it up and then cut the quarters off when I got down so far. Because I only have a 18-inch bar. Now once again, if I had a good chainsaw with a 30-inch bar or something on it. I slice slices off of that right down to the ground. I long wanted a jungle to take care of. For like 30 years, over 30 years now, I dreamed of the jungle that I would go through and just thin out the trees and plant some useful trees and undergrowth and whatnot. Well, it seems like Mother Nature is going to help me. Just look at the seedlings she's popping up everywhere. And most of these are aspen, but they are the first growth. And if I'm going to speed up succession, right, I'd just clear away some of the aspen and plant the next tree there. Have the aspen as those at that size is just a chop and drop thing. That bunch over there should be birch. I do have some cut back here because I was running out of dry wood and I was here searching for dry wood to get, and so that's why there's a bit cut back there already. You see what I mean by Mother Nature springing up a jungle, eh? And it's not all aspen, most of it's aspen. But there's birch and cherry and spruce. And probably maple in there too somewhere. So I had these trees. I have, like I say, the 11 black locusts, which I kind of know where I'm going to put them. And then I had the 10 red buds. I'm like, well, where am I going to put all of those? I think it would be nice to have 2 red buds right here. I'm going to repile this habitat pile and see what happened to it over the past few years. I'm just going to move it over to there and put the rest of those branches on there too. Combine all the branches in this area over right there. And if I could get 2 red buds or maybe even 3 to grow right here, I think that would be nice. Most of the maples, there's a whole bunch of maples growing over here. And so it's 2023, 6 years ago? 7 years ago maybe? That biggest one there was just a little tiny guy. And nothing else, this was just empty. I mowed it all with the lawnmower. That's a damselfly. So we cut down some trees in here, mainly because I wanted to get that big birch that was there to make some lumber out of for cabinets. We have this poplar growing here again, a dogwood. Mostly poplar and dogwood. I planted a black locust there, but that was the runt of the bunch and it didn't come to anything. That one looks to be kind of... Oh no, that's the other plant. Let's take that plant out of it. So here's the smallest of the dogwood, the black locust, coming back just beautifully. Here's another one here. This one did best. It was the first to leave out, and it's seemingly going gangbusters. Then there's another one down there. The funny thing, this one over here, so all the rest had leaved out, and this one didn't show a sign of a thing. I said, oh well, I guess it's not going to come. And then when everything else was leaved out, this one decided to leave out. And right now you wouldn't know any difference. So I don't know why it did that. It's, see about the leaves once again. This is a branch. There's a branch growing up here and out here. The leaf starts here. That's where the leaf starts. And you got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 leaflets. And on every leaf it'd be the same thing. 13, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. There's apparently only 11 leaflets on that one. So maybe it's not the same on every leaf. 2, 4, 6, 8. There's only 9 on that one. But that's how they grow. The one big leaf and several leaflets. The birch is growing back as a clump. See, that's that big birch that I cut down. Whether I just let it do its thing or what, well, that's yet to be seen. Mother Nature and her jungle. And my little garbage pile. Anyway, it doesn't seem like that Osage orange down there is going to grow. This one here, however, it came back well this year. It's an Osage orange right there. Just a little bit right on the tip, see? But it's all new growth. All the way along. So it's growing quite well this year, that one. That Osage orange seems to be doing quite well. A little bit of dead ear on the tip, but you see, this here, this is a new branch, all new growth. So it's doing quite well this year. This one's leaved out and growing along. There's alpine strawberries all in through there. It didn't get so stinking hot in the day. Now out along the edge here, these are low bush blueberries. And most of these smaller leaves you see here are low bush blueberries. There's a little Osage orange in there that seems to be doing fine this year. Here's another one that's coming along. I have to cut down that alder there. That one is still struggling to live, but it's alive. And I have this one here in partial. I have this one here in partial shade that you see right from down there. It's taking right off. So that's 4 on this side and 2 on the other side, making 6 Osage orange in all that are hopeful. This is what this place looks like in midsummer. Let's wander around of the trees that I planted. Of course, there's a red mulberry, another red mulberry, and another one right there. Houston, what is that? Not sure what that is. Looks like it's something I planted at some point. Huh. Don't think that was me. That was some animal knocked that down there. There are other mulberry trees in among this somewhere. They're just hidden. Guess they didn't grow up enough yet to. Yeah, like that one right there. That's a red mulberry. There's another one I see over right there, just poking out of the vetch. That Russian mulberry, he just struggles to grow every year. Maybe someday he'll take off, who knows? I think that's the best of my red mulberries right there. And yeah, you come back now in a few years, not very long. I mean, look at how far it's grown. It's grown 6 inches already. It's going to grow at least a foot, if not more, this year. I'd say more than a foot. And so, growing a foot a year, it's going to be a big tree pretty fast. There's another one there. It may or may not take off. This one's kind of struggling. Got more blueberry plants out through here. I'm trying to show you this place several times. It's just turning into quite the jungle. That one didn't make it. That's the Russian mulberry. See, look at how many. They're big too, for alpine strawberries. Another struggling Russian mulberry. See, the red mulberries don't seem to be. Maybe I'll reword that. The red mulberries seem to do much better here. That's the best Russian mulberry that I have growing right now, that I think. Right there. Perch berries, quite plentiful, but you have to pick them, get them before the birds, because when the birds decide they want those, they'll limb them out. Everyone will be gone pretty fast. Another Russian mulberry that's doing okay. Got the one red mulberry I put in there that is too shaded, I guess. That one's coming along and looks like it's kind of struggling for water there right now. But we did get some rain a couple of days ago. Well, it's got to survive. This is what most of the ants' nests look like around here. They make their nest in the sand, and it's just a pile of sand with nothing growing on it. That's an ant's nest. Don't know what's up with that red mulberry there. So all along here, there's blueberries, but there's also percherberries. And the first time, I thought someone must have come and picked them, because I came up here and like there was thousands of berries I was waiting to get ripe. I come up, pick them, and they're all gone. But I figured out that no, it was the birds. That if you wait too long, they got them. And we can walk across here and see a couple more. Okay, so here's another Russian mulberry. And I really have to come up and pick them Alpine strawberries. There's so many. Here's another Russian mulberry here. That's one of those, I'm not sure what it is. That's a red mulberry right there. And another red mulberry. That's a birch there. Yeah, some of them supposed to be mulberry, but don't look like it, eh? And then that's the one that definitely not mulberry, but I don't know what it is. There's some bug that likes it apparently, eating the edge of the leaves. You got some saplings. See, there's a fir sapling. And there's two spruce saplings. Yeah, now we're back to the Osage orange here. I forgot. One, two. Osage orange growing just perfect. That's exciting. So now what have we got? 8. See, walking out here, because the road hasn't been used now, there's alders are growing up quite fast. But what's important is that once I get back here past this hump here, pretty much all black spruce, which is a very tight grain spruce tree. And I'll probably start right here. I want to cut out the areas of black spruce and see if the black locust will grow here. That's my plan. Maybe I'll take areas where it's a little bit easier because there's a low growth there, but come here and then I can use these, drive them in the ground down by the raspberries, and bolt the other piece to it and plant some black locusts along here and see what they do. Black locust is, the seeds are easy to germinate, so easy enough to get lots of those. You know, this is an open spot here too. Why it's staying open, I don't know. But I could put some black locusts there and see if they grow. Houston, we've got a big moose. That's an awful big moose print. But yeah, don't think moose bother with black locusts. That was a cat was there. Not a domestic cat I'm talking about. Or maybe a coyote? Something did that. Anyway, that's interesting. I've got a bog there that I don't know if I'll ever do anything with. I probably won't, because I mean, hey, I've got 4 acres of dry land and I'm 48 years old, so a person only got so much time, right?